Hello. Today I'm going to show you some of the most basic symbols in music. We're going to start with the staff. The staff has 5 lines, counted from bottom to top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 spaces in between, 1, 2, 3, 4. All music is written using a staff. Now, to figure out what the notes are on the staff, we need clefs. And in this screen, we have a treble clef on the top staff. The treble clef indicates higher notes. And with this part of the treble clef wrapping around the second line, this tells you that this is the G line, because the treble clef is also known as the G clef. On the bottom staff, we have a bass clef, and the bass clef indicates lower notes. And the 2 dots that are on either side of the 4th line indicate that this line is an F, because the bass clef is also known as the F clef. The 2 staves put together like this is called a grand staff. And this ledger line in between the 2 staves, this is where we would place middle C. So this C connects the treble clef staff to the bass clef staff. Next, we're going to talk about time signatures. The time signature is a pair of numbers on the staff that follow the clef and the key signature. So there are 2 numbers, one stacked on top of another, and the top number can be any whole number. It tells you how many beats are in each measure. In this case, there would be 4 beats. But it can be any number. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really, the sky's the limit. But when it comes to the bottom number, you are much more limited to what you can choose. The bottom number tells you the value of the whole note. In this case, the whole note would get 4 beats. If you think of this as a fraction, in this case 1 over 4, 1/4, or a quarter, it also tells you what kind of note equals 1 beat. On this screen, we have a breakdown of 4 different types of notes and their silent twin, the rests. So in this first part here, if the whole note or the whole rest equals 4, then the half note or half rest will equal 2, because half of 4 is 2. And the quarter note or the quarter rest equals 1, because 1/4 of the whole is the quarter. And finally, the 8th note or 8th rest would equal 1/2. Now, if you were to change this 4 to another number, for example, maybe 8, if the whole note or rest equals 8, then half of that would be 4, half of that would be 2, and half of that would be 1. So those are just a couple of examples. But the value of the note and its equal rest will always be the same. If a whole note equals 4, then a whole rest equals 4. If a half note equals 2, then so does the half rest, and so on and so forth. Finally, 3 very important symbols in music would be the accidentals. We're going to very quickly go over 3 accidentals today. The first one is the sharp, and a sharp raises a pitch by 1/2 step. Next, we have the flat. A flat lowers a pitch by 1/2 step. And then last but not least, the natural sign cancels out a sharp or flat. And that is it for our lesson on basic music symbols. Good luck.